feel too bad, man.
Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, that's what I was about to say, boy. It's a generation, man. It's crazy. You want me cutty? I'll wait till you leave. I'll wait till they leave. Nah, I said, you want me cutty?
I'm just saying, we put the salt and pepper on the ends. You know what I'm saying?
And it just happened like this.
Just organic.
The season.
Organic.
Friend y'all together. Put a friend y'all together. You know what I mean? Make sure we stay in. Young Thundercats in the middle.
Thundercat. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Look, there you go. Look, see, look.
They don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like that.
They don't like
Snark.
I'm over here sore right now. I played 2 games this day. So like I played 15 games.
I'm about to post the link in that group, y'all.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, you say you do. You want to tell in
I'll
up.
be 40 in January.
You say you want to tell in up, huh?
That was my favorite cartoon.
Oh, man. Come on.
Couch Talk 1of1. Do, big dog.
So what we're gonna do, at the end, we'll do the drop to promote this. Basically, me and G are probably stand behind y'all, like how we do on the interviews.
Yeah.
Promote the interview. So we're gonna do we're gonna do like the conversation, then after that, to promote it and put it out there, we'll do the drop at the end.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do,
You lead.
right, yeah. So I'm gonna say like basically what we doing, and I'm gonna probably introduce, you know what I'm saying, each one of y'all. You, Greenfield, Police Department, IMPD. Keep balling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? City Life for
East side,
Far East Side.
Director.
All right, and then Struggle Bank.
Josh will be IMPD by the end of the year. Listen, I'm getting too old. I'm almost done, bro. I can't get 8 more years and I'm out.
All right, y'all ready?
Keep chasing the payment pounder. That's shorter for you.
Yes, sir.
You get the link sent out to everybody?
Yeah, I just sent it to all of them, and then I just posted it on Facebook too.
Okay.
Just tell me when to go, B.
I can like that.
What's up, y'all? It's Brandon Beasley. Here with my guys on behalf of my organization, Triple Bless Inc. Here with a fine group of gentlemen here to discuss, you know what I'm saying, some of the issues that we have today in the country and everything. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just go around and introduce everybody. We got Keambi Thomas, Indianapolis, Indiana representative. On behalf of Keita Ballin here representing this brand. We got IMPD officer here, Sid McDaniel. We got myself, Brandon Beasley. We got Aaron Green, representing Struggle Maybe. Does a lot of work in the community with the youth and everything. Josh Mullins from Greenfield, the police department. IUPUI standout. Been here doing a lot in the city. And then we got Antonio Patton, City Life, Far East Side director, does a lot on the Far East Side with kids, you know, helping out, doing everything that he needs to do. So basically what we gonna do, we just gonna, you know, talk about everything that's been going on, try to pick each other's brains a little bit, see how we all got different views on the situations that's going on. We're gonna express ourselves, and we just we just gonna chop it up like that. So first, I'm gonna just say that we all know that there's been some, you know, racial injustices, some things that have been happening that is unfortunate for the African American community. We've been seeing in the last few months how how it's affected us as a race, as a community, and we just want to ask a couple of our great officers here, you know, their mindset on it. We're gonna ask these other gentlemen their mindset on it, their view on it. So go ahead and get started. What you think about stuff, how it's going on?
I'm pissed. I'm angry. My job is to, number one, protect the minds of these youth that I serve. And I'm just watching theirs deteriorate, especially when it comes to the interaction with police. You know, it's hard because when you come up, you hear those things like I'll just say, for instance, my dad went to prison when I was 5. So that stigma of not liking police was embedded in me because of the community I was in. And him being removed, before I was even able to fathom what that looked like, I didn't like police off top. 7 years old, I don't like police. And so a lot of these kids that I'm serving, their first interaction, period, is number one, hearing about police, but then them being arrested and feeling like they've been treated bad is the first time they ever interact with police. So that already creates that stigma, like, yeah, everything I've ever heard about the police is correct. You know what I mean? Because the first time I run into them, it's bad. It's just a bad situation. So in their mind, that's already there. That's like a brick. And to beat that down, it's on me. And so, you know, to y'all, I want to know from y'all, how do I tell my kids how to interact with police when they're seeing these videos, they're seeing what's going on in the world, they're watching people comply and be killed, they're watching people get back in the car and be killed. You know what I mean? What do I tell them? Because it's my job to inform them so they don't lose their lives trying to do what they know.
So I think that is part of some of the issues that we have within the Black community, right? The stigma, the systemic and historic things that have been embedded in our community as far as our relationship with police, right? We grow up and that's kind of what we've been told, right? Yeah, you're not supposed to talk to the police, you're not supposed to interact with them. And so for you dealing with the youth, seeing what's going on in the media, I think the media is a very big culprit of what's going on, right? I think a lot of the media that we're seeing right now is negative in nature. And what I think that people aren't realizing and seeing is the daily thousands of interactions that we have with people throughout the country. And then what you end up seeing is a very minimal and very small percentage of our interactions with people on the media because it's more so clickbait, right? And it's put there to do exactly what it's doing. It's put there to upset you and feed into, you know, the stigma of what is already there. Now, me being a police officer, and Josh can speak for this himself, you know, out of my interactions, I know the media is not there when I do a lot of the things that I do in the community that I work, right? I don't tell a lot of people about it, but I have hundreds of encounters with people daily throughout the year, right? I know all the people where I work on the street. I interact with them. I go to community meetings. I know all the kids. When something happens, I have a good relationship with them and they can talk to me about what's going on. And so I think a lot of that stuff is being portrayed in a negative manner. And I think what you guys are doing right now is exactly what needs to happen, right? You guys are taking the appropriate steps to go forward and try to have a conversation. Because a lot of times it's just like, man, you see something 10 seconds on a video and it's like, man, we hate the police, this happens. That's not necessarily true, man. Do we make mistakes? Of course, right? We have split-second decisions and we have to make these decisions. Some of them, they're very tough. We face very dangerous situations. Josh has probably been in things, I've been in things where my life was in danger. And I can't sit here and explain to you how that feels, right? Unless you're out there seeing it. And so what I did when I was on the street, I just told my family and friends, I said, hey, go ride with me for a day. Go check out what it is that we have to do. Come see some of the things. Training, they say we need to do more training. We do a lot of training. We have implicit bias training. We have a lot of use of force continuum training. We have a lot of training, right? But a lot of this training doesn't lead to practicalness when you're on the street because you're making split-second decisions. I know in hundreds of hours of training that if we're here and I'm training on how to deal with a violent suspect, I know you're not going to kill me, right? I know you're not going to pull out and kill me. You don't know that on the street. Exactly. I don't know what you're going to do. I have to make that split-second decision based upon my training and life experiences on how I deal with that specific situation. That's tough.
So in saying that, you know what I'm saying, I get it that you gotta make split decisions, you know what I'm saying? And you kinda, I guess, like, making a split decision like that when you're kind of in a hostile situation, I think it's different than, like, let's just say, like, the last one that just happened to Jacob Blake, you know what I'm saying, situation. Like, if, like, dude was breaking up a fight, and I'm not just saying, like, this is how all of them are. I just want to, like, what's your thoughts on, like, him breaking up a fight? It's 4 or 5 officers right there. He walks around to the other side of the car, past all of these officers. You know what I'm saying? So if they really wanted to stop him, why not just grab his ass? Like then, and you wait. Like I don't know. Nobody knows if it was a weapon in the car. He going to get a weapon in the car. What his next thing was, but why wait? Why even wait for him? Walk past. That's like somebody talking crazy in here. He walked past all of them talking crazy.
Shooting somewhere else other than 7 times or anything prior to that type of escalation.
Well, I mean, I get totally what
We don't
you're
know
saying.
what's going on.
My thing is anytime you're going to pull a gun and pull the trigger, it's not to hurt somebody. It's not. Let's be honest. If you pull the trigger on the gun, what is that? It's to kill somebody.
Right.
Like, so if it gets to that point, you know, people say shoot him in the leg, shoot him, in the arm. That's not. If you're pulling the trigger on a gun wasn't designed for it. It's to kill somebody. And I understand. You know, my thing is, it's like when you're in a high pressure situation like that, and you go to shoot somebody, you'd be lucky to hit somebody in the chest. I'm just being straight up honest from here. I mean, we train like that, and they always go back and when these are hostile, like just say when we're going to pull somebody over and somebody jumps out of the car real quick, and all we can do is try to shoot, and we don't even hit, and we shoot 9 times and we miss them. I mean, but the other thing is we don't truly know. Did he? I mean, they say he had a knife. He didn't have a knife. I don't know.
That's
no one really knows.
Right.
They showed one with it. They showed one without.
Right.
They said they tased him twice. So then when the taser didn't work, he said, "I'm going to go get my gun." Supposedly that's what was said. I don't know. My thing is if he's that serious to go get a gun, I can't wait to see and find out if he's going to.
Right, and that's my thing. But that's my thing though. Like I'm pretty sure y'all do training where y'all gotta fight.
Right. No.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Like, why not grab me?
But my thing is, if you got a knife, Brandon, and you're good with the knife or whatever, it just takes one cut with it. One cut. So my thing is like, you go to tackle this guy and he cuts you. Could be you know what I'm saying? I understand. Right. I understand. Everybody's got these Monday morning. I mean, I get it.
No, definitely.
I do.
Definitely.
I mean, you're like, man, tackle that dude.
I mean, it was another video where he was down. I saw another video where he was down and he got up, but it's 3 officers on him. In my opinion, if 3 of y'all can't get him down, it's a problem.
Right. Yeah, you need to be working the wall.
Because at this point,
3 officers can't
3
take
y'all,
one man
3 y'all on him, and now he done got up. How the hell did somebody get up? I play football.
Right.
There's 3 of us on top of somebody.
And I ain't trying to defend them either, but they average men and women as well.
Right. I mean, not everybody's.
Everybody
like,
don't have hands.
I'm with you.
So you know, it makes it hard, and it's just like I said, we all play sports. Y'all on that team. So there's a skill level, a minimum skill level that y'all must have in order to be cops, or y'all shouldn't make your team.
Right.
Skill level, training, all that. So, like you said, that's the last result. Within 3 minutes, that's your last result. There's no training, I feel, that went through that process. Not enough from whenever the phone call was made to the police showing up on the scene to shots.
Right.
That I don't even know, but it was less than 10 minutes. And you mean to tell me that y'all went through your whole book of training in a 10-minute process to result to a shot and kill, or as you say, when you pull out your gun to shoot, you're shooting to kill. So therefore, in that 10-minute span, 8-minute span, you went through your whole process of training in a 7-minute span to say shoot and kill.
So let's backtrack a little bit right here. Okay, so we talk about physical training with officers, right? So when you have your hiring process,
So it's a whole skill.
there's a lot of different things, right? So the things that they train you on in test are what? Your physically ability to a certain standard in the academy, right? You don't hire people because they can fight. You hire them because of a multitude of things that they bring to the table.
Right.
One of them being their physical attributes. When we go through a hiring process, they don't like physically look at you and say, hey, you should be a police officer because you look like this, right? They put you through a multitude of things, whether that be cognitive training, your psych eval, you know, the different things that you go through in the academy. They make sure that you can talk to people, you can de-escalate. We take hundreds of hours on these type of trainings, right? So you have to look at the percentages of physical encounters that we have with people. The things that you guys are seeing in 10 seconds of a video is not our normal day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so there's some officers that go through their whole career, never shoot a gun, never get in a fight with anyone. And then you have some officers who, they may work in a major metropolitan area and that may happen to them once a week, right? I worked in a major metropolitan area, very high violent crime. I didn't get into stuff all the time. I got into a fair amount of things, but there is still a level of adrenaline that you get in these situations. And so these officers are still people, right? They're not robots. And so when you get into these encounters and you have to make split-second decisions, I may handle something totally different than Josh, right? That doesn't necessarily have anything to do specifically with my training because I'm not a robot. We can go through the same training 100 times, and I may react different in that 10 seconds. In that 10-second span, where I personally feel like my life is in danger, it could be my life experiences in my training or where I work. I may have had 1,000 more of these interactions with people than Josh, or vice versa. And so who's going to be better equipped to deal with that?
And I'm saying that level of training should be there. It should be a minimum.
But that's not, it's just a multitude of things, right? It's your experiences, it's your life experiences. Have you been around people where you were?
But so does that fail the community in a sense? Because if you didn't grow up in the neighborhood where you know, grow up in the hood, you shouldn't be able to patrol the hood because you don't know nothing about the hood. Shit is gonna scare you in the hood that would normally scare somebody. If I'm from over here, it's like, yeah, what's up?
You know what makes that difference? Like I've known y'all, I've played with y'all. I came whenever,
Wherever.
and it doesn't matter. And I think that's helped me to deal with whatever I need to be dealing with. Like I feel like I can talk to anybody. I can talk them out a lot of things. I'm not saying it works every time. I'm not saying I'm not good with conversing with people that I can make it happen. I mean, that dude's gonna quit doing whatever he's doing. He's gonna listen to me. And that doesn't always happen. Now we don't ever know why people aren't listening to us. Why we don't know if they're mentally unstable, they're on drugs. We don't know, and they don't. You know. And then it gets to the point where if they did taste him twice, shit, that didn't work. Now what do we do, man? He's got to. What do we do? We got to keep talking to him. And then he says, "I'm going." You know what I mean? Like we don't. It sucks, man. Like it's nothing a cop. I can tell you right now, no one wants to shoot anybody. No one wants to pull out their gun and shoot no one. But we know that when we signed up to take this job, there was a possibility that could happen every time you put your uniform on. And I don't know, that to me, those experiences hang, you know, since I've been 10 years old, you know what I mean? I've been coming and hanging with y'all since.
And when you're an officer, you go through training, right? You're in the academy and they show you these videos. They show you videos like that where somebody goes to a car and they get a gun and they pull it out and they shoot an officer. They're gonna show you a bunch of those. And you know what some of those people do when we go through that training? They get up and they walk out. They quit. Like, oh no.
Be good.
Yeah, I'm not fighting nobody that's gonna get no gun.
We don't want.
Do y'all think a lot of people sign up to be officers for the wrong reasons?
I mean, I think there probably is some.
For the wrong reasons, and like with that, like maybe, like it's picked on.
Yeah, I guarantee they got that chip on their shoulder where it's like,
they feel like they got a little bit of power. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think there's people like that everywhere. I don't care what color they are. They're white, black, green, yellow. There's people like that. They got power now. And they
So what are the good cops? What are the good cops doing? Kind of like how when y'all ask the community when something happens in the community, you need the community to help police the community. And what are the cops or are the good cops community helping or telling, snitching like y'all want us to, or y'all telling on the bad cops, or y'all advocates for the community that y'all serving, or the people that you know are not right, because you continue to say the media and the stigma, quick segment, but that's where y'all getting your image of these young men. Is this quick segment stereotype? So right when you go into 46218, I'm already on the same stereotype that you're saying, that we just looking at one snippet, 10 seconds of these cops, and this is what image that we are portraying on y'all cops,
Right.
but then y'all getting a lifetime of this systemic vision of this young youth. Little snippets here, little snippets there, little snippets there, to where now that feeds these young men, black and white, good cops, bad cops, but my good cops ain't saying nothing, I don't think, on some of the bad cops, because if it was, and if it was some accountability, then
Big word.
then I think we would say a big change. But when my good cops are sitting there holding the pistol or letting the dog bite my little 14-year-old, and y'all ain't gonna say nothing when y'all go back to the station, what does that look like?
You know that
To him, when you ask him that question, to this 7-year-old, 14-year-old looking at the cop, and you the good cop, you going home to your kids and your family, and your cousin, nephew looks just like this little dude that you allow this cop to chew up on this little boy, and this little boy stop, freeze, lay down, whatever he asks, and y'all still allow that dog to chew on him. What do we say to that?
right? No, I mean that's
And not necessarily like
We know
I know
what you
what they, yeah.
we understand that.
Right.
Like if this
And y'all not speaking for all the cops,
Right.
because
And that's the
because
thing,
we
we
can't
control
speak,
for
and we
LA,
can't speak
for
for
Dallas,
exactly, and we
Minnesota,
can't speak for
where?
all the
Chicago.
bad little dudes
Right.
that actually
Right.
did something and things of that nature. And that's what we all. And this is a general conversation, topping up. Nobody's pointing because
This is why this is
good.
why the conversation
Right.
is good, right? And you hit on something that is extremely important and very, very powerful word, and that's accountability, right? On all aspects, on the people that we deal with, on us, we all have to hold each other accountable. And I think that is why it's very important for us to even be sitting here and having this conversation, because you guys are even coming to the forefront and you're saying, you know what, man, let's take a step back. Let's try to come to the table and let's try to talk about what it is that we're having issues with, right? Let's try to talk about it and let's try to fix it. And I think that's a big step.
Antonio? Yeah, I want to chime in on a couple things, man. One, I believe we want to ask the officers some questions and then give space for them to answer those questions for the youth's sake, because the youth is shook. I got a nephew from Chicago, Illinois, and he cannot stand the uniform at all on account of something that transpired. I did have an opportunity to go to Kenosha just this past Saturday to speak with Mr. Blake's father and sister. And when something transpired, I always ask the youth in my community to give me the opportunity to do the research, to find out the true details, because one thing I never want the youth to do is to react from the cortex of their brain. That is an impulsive, never thought out process. I wanted to reach the front of their brain molecules to where they can process truth, because when truth is evident, then we want accountability. So as he was saying, if you want our community to step up and help you solve something going on in our community, we want the same and respond from the officer. Right. When an officer does something, we need to see that an officer is held to those same guidelines, and we want him to be charged. Not only do we want him to be charged, if we want the law to be just for every man, why don't everybody be charged like a black man? That's justice. I mean, we want the same punishment to stick the same way. So, from what the information that was given and from what the research says, came down about Mr. Blake, and I know that none of the officers here are those officers. There's too many young men showing me videos of white individuals pulling guns and saying, put that down, and not being shot. Then I gotta go and tell my youth to trust the uniform. So it's a real catch-22 when I tell them, no. And every time it seems like I gain a centimeter of ground, Jake Blake, George Floyd, once you get the handcuffs, let the George Floyd, let's explain this, because I've never seen a man break a pair of handcuffs. So for the multiple time that they were on his neck, what do you say about about that situation there?
Come on to the fire, man. You know.
This is Dustin Purvine. Just got in with us. IMPD as well. So you gonna dive right in, bro.
Right in
On the
there.
spot.
mean, I don't mean the Monday night quarterback or anything, but I mean, with me personally, I'll say for me. I'll take it for me. If I had to deal with that type of situation, it's more about how you speak, how you talk. Like, to me, let's just say you're a criminal or something, you do something. Let's just say you steal something, I don't know. To me, like you said, the respect, it goes both ways. So if I see you, I'm not coming, I think where we can get kind of messed up at is people don't understand, like, for us putting this, doing this, even with our gun holsters and everything, us putting this like this, they think that's intimidating. For us, that's comfortable. That's us being comfortable, being able to talk to you. And I think with me, dealing with a situation like the George Floyd thing, I think it's more like I just would have talked, calmed down to him, set him up, talk to him. I mean,
And then, but I guess what he's saying is, if you're not the one on his neck,
And you're standing
and
by.
you're standing by,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
accountability.
Most definitely.
Everybody is saying, yeah, most definitely I've said something, I've stopped.
No.
But 9 times, and there's more than one cop in a lot of these situations, and not one cop have we seen step up and say, get off his neck, officer. Don't shoot.
Now, what I might mean to cut you off. I actually have seen a couple videos where, like, when the riots and shit was happening, where the same, it almost happened, but I seen an officer run past and knock him off. But my interpretation of it is he really caring about him, or it's like,
And we
we really under fire right now. Getting, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that, especially right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's
hard to tell his intent.
Right.
And before you answer, can I tell you one thing, man?
Sure.
Everyone here, man, we give you guys, I'm telling you, man, there's so much respect as we've been educated, because I couldn't stand the uniform myself. I had to really process. But, we want to let you guys know, man, and we're praying for you, we love you, and we agree, but we want you to understand that we want y'all to uphold that oath that you took to serve and protect us. Once you get us apprehended, and he's no longer a threat, take him to jail. That man, for him to scream for his mama, who's deceased, I knew it was real. It broke me. I couldn't even watch no more. Once he said mama, I was done.
Yeah, and so that obviously, I think, first and foremost, we as officers want the same thing that you guys want, man. Believe it or not, despite how everything looks, right? We want to hold everybody accountable too. So if I see Josh do something and I think that it's wrong, I will say something to him. I've done it my whole career. He can probably speak for himself. He's probably done it too. And it's something that you guys aren't, if we do it, you're not gonna know that we do it, right? Like, if I say something to an officer and there's an issue at work, you guys aren't gonna know about that. That's just the nature of it, right? But that
So
is,
it does happen then?
of course.
it does. And not because,
And I hear you, but it ain't for me.
No,
because
yeah.
I already have. It's for.
yeah, and not to cut you off on that,
So,
but
yeah.
like for me,
I knew we got to do.
for me seeing
It
that,
ain't
for me seeing that, like, and I guess I had to explain to family members too with the George Floyd situation. Like I forget the other officer's name, the mixed officer. He was an FTO, and that means he was in training. And for you to tell your superior, that was kind of like he was in a tight situation right there. He didn't know what to do.
Should I do this? I know it's the right thing.
Yeah,
I know it's the right
and
thing.
And I'm glad you said that, because I am an officer, but then I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm a human.
Morality gotta come in.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, first.
That's
Or
the
an
time where I draw the line. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd have had an assault case. I'm being honest. God won't allow me to be in certain places because He knows when a man's body is, he's human. This is not, it's not a building. It's not a dog. It's not, a lion that you're going out to hunt for food. This man is telling you, and you heard multiple times him say, I know I was acting up, but I'm ready to go to jail. I'm sorry. And the guy said, man, you was resisting. He said, I know, but they got me cuffed. I'm ready to go to jail. So I'm glad you said that, because
Yeah, I don't want to take away from the fact that was wrong. I'm not saying
I'm not saying you.
And I'm not
just
saying
speaking into
like me as an officer. Sid got more time on me. So me being a rookie and Sid was a veteran officer, he's a veteran officer. I'm an at-will employee right now. So it's like I got to basically do, in hindsight, I got to do so much what he tells me to do. And I understand what you're saying as a man. Like, you got to know what's right from wrong. You got to know. But also as a future officer, you got to look at it like, man, this is my livelihood. This is what I'm doing for my family. I dropped all this over here to come here. Now, if I go over here and tell him, get off him and push him off, I might lose my job. And so that's
where the community,
right.
and
And
so
so
we come
and
up.
so that's
and
why
that's the truth that we need to
right,
hear.
and that's
And
why
That's when we come up.
Yeah, and that's why like
There it
like
is.
for y'all
That's
especially.
the pivot point.
Y'all are black men wearing the uniform. Y'all purpose in that uniform is so much greater than protect and serve, because y'all know that it's a gap that has to be bridged between the community and especially our community and police. So, you know, when we seeing shit like the job is more important than somebody's life,
Right.
first thing we doing is F it. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at it like, because I put myself there and I put one of my kids there. They was gonna have to kill me there because that's one of my kids there. You gotta think about it, when we see this shit, we putting our sisters there, we putting our daddies there, we putting our sons there. And so you gotta look at it from us. Is this job more important than this person's life? I'm not saying you said that, but you know, that's how, you know what I mean? And so that's why I said, like, what do I tell these kids? Because I still don't have an answer for them when they say, look, man, I got on the ground, and that's when he brought that up. I got on the ground and they sicked the dog on me.
Right.
And I'm knowing it to be true because I looked at his leg and it was from his ankle to his thigh was a rip. Like a motherfucker just let the dog just eat it. And so for me, I got to step back, but I also pride myself on being genuine and real. And I can't sit there and say, man, next time you need to just do this and that. Because I know me. If that would have happened to me, it would have been a whole different scenario. I'd have been gone.
It kind of go back to what me and you rapped about.
Yeah.
Like just me and him had a conversation. You know, like a lot of the shit that been happening, folks been unarmed.
Yeah.
I ride around armed every day. I'm
Yeah.
licensed, you know what I'm saying? But just if they doing this shit to unarmed folks, you know what I'm saying?
On camera.
Right.
I'm armed. If I feel me, and this the conversation we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I feel like, you know what I'm saying, an officer is on that, and I feel like you get ready to, you know what I'm saying, my life in danger.
I can't go.
Because
I
you
got
already know
kids.
that that's
You know,
where
that's-
his mental is.
Right.
So as
Cause
Sid
I
says,
like-
that's not, I don't think our first, like, I'm scared and I'm worried about
Right.
it. But y'all just said that's how y'all already coming to the scene. As this is my job over his life. So y'all come in and y'all meeting the situation like that. So then we have to escalate real quick.
So my thing, what I was getting at is, so if this is happening to unarmed black men, like I said, I'm armed. And if I feel like, hey,
Right.
am I wrong for thinking like, hey, I'm going home.
I gotta go home.
I'm going home. So, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta
Like
go home.
that's the mental that
But
we
I
damn
feel
near
like-
gotta have, bro.
I feel like, Brandon, if you was to get, I feel like you're gonna listen to exactly what they say. When
But
they
see,
get there.
that's-
And I understand.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I know where
yeah,
you're gonna go.
yeah.
I understand that, but you get there and say, man, listen, I got a gun in the car. I want you to pull me out right now because I want you, put me in, whatever you got to do. Another officer watch you in the back while I get the gun out your car.
I honestly can't say that I'm gonna just be like,
I understand.
I'm gonna get out the car.
And that's my thing, 'cause we
I have
need
a right
it.
to have it, right?
No, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna play that.
So this is where we need
And
to
I
back
know
up.
that.
I'm not gonna play the tough role.
No,
or none of that. Cause like you said, you know how to talk.
I'm gonna pay my
It's
rights.
all about how you come
Right.
to
It is.
somebody, right?
It's how
You know
you
what I'm saying?
talk to
So
people.
go ahead.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit, right? Because this is part of the problem that happens when we have this conversation. Everything with these interactions get generalized, right?
Right.
They're not all the same.
Right.
So when you're talking about your interactions with the police and stuff, they're all individual
But we as
interactions.
black men get generalized
That's
every
what it is.
time.
And it's
I-
stereotypes.
No, go ahead. My bad, I ain't even-
But this is what I'm saying.
Everything is
So-
generalized.
Right. So when we have to talk about specific situations, right? So what we're talking about now is in general. Like, oh, if I came into contact, you're not saying if, okay, man, hey, I had a situation where I got into somebody and it was a domestic disturbance, and the police were called.
Right.
And now that is what happens with all these situations. They're not all the same, right?
Right. Nah, definitely.
And once again, I go back to the thousands of encounters that we have with people on a daily basis. And so what you have to start thinking about in these situations are what are the conditions and the things that happen prior to our contact with you, right?
So-
because that's a psyche on both sides, right?
Yeah.
That's a
I
psyche for the people that you're dealing with, and that's a psyche as me as an officer, or how I'm going to potentially handle that situation and deal with the situation,
So,
right?
so like with that, like how you said, like all the hundreds of encounters that go the correct way, I'm almost guaranteed that it's probably hundreds of encounters that go the exact same way that the stuff being televised, but it just ain't getting the light though. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But so it's like we in a fucked up.
Let me say this though with Sid though. Like what Sid was saying though, like for instance, we can get a run to like, let's just say like a domestic disturbance. What people don't understand that the information that we getting, an armed man in the house.
Right. So
It's a disturbance with a weapon. So already we in protect mode.
now that's on
And that's
that's
not-
particular though. You feel me?
But I'm saying though, that, like something like that, that's something like you said, verbal judo. Like you gotta be able to talk. Sometimes it ain't always like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Sometimes you gotta go in there again. You gotta go in there with your gun out.
Right,
Sometimes
right.
you gotta do that.
That's responding to a domestic. You know
But
that it's been
no.
violence.
Well, no,
involved.
not necessarily. It's not always just domestic. It could be a car accident.
No, but
Or
I'm just saying, like you
somebody
said,
with a gun.
domestic. You said
Well, I'm
domestic
saying-
violence call something. You
well, yeah.
going into that like, all right, tempers is probably high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. We just talking about a random, routine stop. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like you said, everything different.
Like a traffic stop.
Let's be
Regular traffic
subjective,
stop.
right?
Okay.
So we want to specifically talk about traffic. Is that a big issue in the black
I mean,
community?
it's not. I can't say that. I can't say that it's specifically traffic. I'm just saying like.
Castro got shot on the
But-
stop.
Yeah,
Or
like
something simple
what's
when
the
it's
other
kids. So that was something simple.
Antonio, the other guy from Minnesota?
For
Philando Castro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's traffic. That was traffic stop, right? You know what I'm saying? Unarmed in front of his kids.
And
Well,
feel
there's
me?
this girl sitting right next to him.
With his
right?
girl sitting right next to
video,
him.
right?
His kids in the back. Like,
And he telling you, I got a gun permit. Feel me?
Yeah, I
Like,
can't. That one, I don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
it's a lot like that though. Just like the Breonna Taylor.
I mean,
I think there's some
There's
stuff to
some
that
things
one.
on
that's some
Breonna
stuff.
Taylor.
There's some stuff that people don't know.
I think
Yeah,
will
on a
come
whole
out, some factual things that they will eventually bring out. And it's very hard to talk about that stuff because when you don't have all the details and facts of something, that's where we start to run into some issues with discommunication.
Right.
Because people,
Right.
I mean, man, nobody wants to see somebody get shot, man. Like no matter what race you are, color, whether you're an officer or not, we don't want to shoot anybody. We don't want to see anybody shot. Right. So when you start talking about the facts of things, a lot of that stuff gets lost in translation because if you just see a family member or another black person and they're shot, you can be like, man, I'm upset. Like, I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care what you got to say. And that is part of it because we don't have conversations like this, right? Where we get to talk about it and I get to say, okay, man, let's backtrack, all right? From everything that happened, from the point that we were dispatched there, the information that we had, the dialogue that happened between the officers and the person that they're dealing with, all of the factual things that are going to be talked about when this investigation becomes complete, right? We have to discuss those things. That's very, very important. And so a lot of times we don't do that because of the emotional aspect that's involved with it.
So, go ahead, Pete. I guess, and not to kind of conclude, but I'm more, I guess, playing with solution. What can happen? You know what I mean? It's great that we're having it. Can y'all speak on, from your perspectives, as like this young man said, as men first, before y'all put on this uniform, what are you, since we don't want to generalize, what are you doing for the community as a man to give back? Not necessarily give back because, like you said, you going with your uniform on and you meeting the kids with your uniform, officer friendly, but as a man first, being able to take your community out of their community because it took you to go to college or experience to really sit here amongst us. And so what are you doing back in Greenfield to bring your community out of their comfort zone, kind of like how it had to happen for you, to make them see us in a different light, so then my grandson can actually enjoy being with you and not fear of and not have that. And then what are you doing within your community to actually advocate for the community against bad cops? And maybe Indianapolis ain't the, you know what I mean, bad cops. I'm sure it's some though. But you know what I mean? I guess I just want more of a solution. So then we can come back to our youth and say, hey, I spoke down with 3, and this is what these 3 cops said that their idea of solution or police reform or what they're going to be able to do to save my nephew.
Well, to hit on that, you know, the toughest thing is that we have a problem with, I think, is that, you know, black people don't go to white communities, white people don't go to black communities, so they don't understand each other. I think that's the biggest disconnect that we have right now. I have, so I know. And my thing is, my mom never had to tell me who to hang with, who to run with, who to like, who not to like. I'm just me, and these dudes can attest for me for whatever, but it's the hardest thing. I don't think there's an easy fix for this. Like, we're in a really, really bad spot. Like, it's like stuff we've never seen before. And it's gonna take a lot to bring it back together. Like, it really is. Like, I can't even, it's hard to explain, man, and I don't know, I don't have an answer. I can't tell you because I mean, it's...
No, I just want you to speak for you, though, and what you can do. And
I mean,
you
my
should have
thing
an
is,
answer
my
for
thing
yourself,
is I can only be me, and I can only do the things to help. Like, when people ask me to help, like this right here, I can come and I can help.
This
if we
is
do,
phenomenal,
you know,
right?
Lamar,
This is only
you
part
know,
one.
Right,
I know that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's gotta be more parts to
and
this.
me and him.
Is that right, Couch?
And me and Sid have already talked to. It was a we did for Don Carlisle one day.
Yeah.
We did a Zoom meeting with Don and to help with Ben Davis kids. You know, because now I'm in the school. I'm off the road. I don't even work the road no more. I'm inside the school. I was on the road for 10 years and then went to the school because I wanted to connect with the kids because I want to get them before they get out there and they start making decisions that, you know, we can't fix. And I'm like, this is how we do it. And they end up connecting with me a little bit better because I can explain some things to them because I'm not that, you know, that robot cop that's like, oh yeah, you know, I could actually sit down and talk. I don't have to talk in a certain way to you. Like, I just talk.
And I think that's a big part of the problem.
The communication aspect.
That and they so right, you know what I'm saying? And it's like they lose who they are in the midst of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They get lost behind the badge.
they get lost behind the badge. You know what I'm saying?
And you can't. Kids can't see through it. And I witnessed it since we have to speak on personal, where y'all cool here, but then
You get out there, it's like,
and you don't know that I know you, and then I see y'all in y'all uniform.
Yeah, right.
You taller than everybody in the building.
Right. Hey, the thing
And
is,
so, but that's false when you don't have to be, when you can just still don't have your uniform on. Like you said, if you know that this is intimidating to everybody, then why you continue to do it?
Yep, and I agree with that.
And so, and that's my thing. So we are told, you know it is, we have told y'all, but then you still will approach me like this. And then expect me to bow down or whatever because you are comfortable.
Yeah.
So let me meet you where I'm comfortable at. Now where's the issue? And then you win. Versus you are being trained, taught to de-escalate, so you should never go here.
Yeah.
If you already know that it's an intimidating factor. However, you still do.
Yeah. And I think the thing, like,
And now today, hopefully it should change because you know that it's an intimidating, and he's not intimidating you, so don't get comfortable here. Find another comfort zone.
oh yeah, we spoke
I
on that.
know,
I
yeah,
spoke
no,
on
and I'm
Wilkins.
sorry,
No,
not you.
I know.
Not you.
And I done seen
whoever.
him.
Like literally,
As
man,
a
this is
content-
my
as a
comfort
police
spot.
officer.
Yeah,
and
This
it's
is my
like
comfort spot.
I seen him as him. I've been knowing him what? Forever.
Yeah.
And when I see him out working in front of a bar or working in front of a club or something like that, you know, it's him, bro.
Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah,
Like, I've never seen Josh and Sid in, you know what I'm saying, uniform. But like I said, I know this is why I picked them. You know what I'm saying? But I can see that it's they them. You know what I'm saying? But why? My thing is why can't it be like that across the board? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah,
it'll be
that's
so much.
it's just
we all do.
Because we are different.
And that's where it goes. We talking,
just
we
like
talking
just like
communication.
suspects or criminals.
Right,
we all
right.
different.
But then, but y'all see him, I see like y'all
everybody
see him
gonna
from the
play
same
like
lens
that.
though.
Right.
Like,
It's tough, man. Like,
But it definitely comes a time where somebody's gonna have to step up as an officer when an officer is convicted and say, man, we ain't that. You know, I need y'all to stand up, go live on your video and be like, as an officer, I'm glad he got what he got. I'm glad that I wish he'd have got more years. Because that's what y'all want us to do. We want the same in return. You know, when somebody in a uniform step out of line, nail they butts. Like, man, yeah, man. And don't keep him up.
and said, I'm against
Put him
that.
in general population with everybody else. You big and bad enough to do what you was
say,
doing in
we
that
stand
uniform.
against that.
You get the same ropes in the prison cell. Ain't no kid put them on. No, gone in there with Bobo that's been in there 40
That's
years.
fair. But
You know
when
what I'm saying?
when officers do things they shouldn't do, man, we feel like that a lot of times because what we feel like is that it portrays us in a specific
y'all in a-
image.
yeah,
It's like, oh man. So now when we're in uniform and people
Deal
see
with a
us,
random
they think
person,
we're
they
like
like, man.
something that you see on
But that's how we feel every
Every
day.
day.
Yeah, that's how we feel every day. Hey, that's how we feel
So I
every
guess the
day.
only way you know we come
Yeah.
in contact,
Yeah,
like,
like-
oh yeah, that's
and see-
Bones, he's cool.
Yeah.
Like it's a couple questions I want to.
But we need that from
I'm gonna
the-
let-
from the
I'm gonna
general
let her answer
population,
you.
not just y'all.
For Tone and Kiambi, you know what I'm saying? Y'all the
Watch it, man.
y'all the OGs. I'm gonna ask. I got one for y'all, but I got one for Sid and Dustin, and then one, and you know what I'm saying, on the opposite side for Josh. How does it make y'all feel as black men every day? You know what I'm saying? Strapping up. You know what I'm saying? Putting that badge on when this shit is happening to us. You know what I'm saying?
Back on that.
Well,
It's just like no, like
yeah.
just honest opinion, honest answer, how do it make you feel some type of way, like shit, man? Like
you know, so what I do is I look at each individual situation and I look at the circumstances of what happened and I try to just put it out all on the table, and that's kind of how I go about how I feel about it. It just depends on the situation and what I see and the circumstances of the situation. I know what I do as a black officer and a black man in the community.
Like we- yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
And so that's part of the reason why I'm here. Like you hit me, you like, hey man, let's go chop it up.
Yeah.
Just on some general stuff. Let's just have a conversation. I like to do that, right? Because this is very important. This is very important. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't want to do what you guys are doing because of the emotional aspect. They're like, I don't want to have nothing to do with the police. We're not going to get anywhere like that because at the end of the day, we work for the community, right? So, and we have to work together. Like, it doesn't matter how mad we get or how we feel, like, we have to work together, man. And so this is very, very important. And so that's somewhat of a specific question when it comes to like specific situations. It kind of just depends on what it is that I see and the actions that people take, how the police dealt with it, and the circumstances of the situation. You know what I mean? That's a very tough answer to question because some of the things that I see, I may feel one way about the officer, or I may feel one way about the person that they were dealing with. You know what I mean? And the situations that people were put in. That's just how I have to do it. So, and it's tough because me myself, I've been in hundreds of situations, very dangerous. Where I felt like somebody was gonna kill me, and you guys don't see that aspect because you don't have to deal with that part. The one part that you're able to see is the media stuff and the stuff that they're feeding you, right? I mean, you guys don't get to see some of those situations I had to deal with, where I've had to deal with black people, and they're like, "Hey man, well why you doing this?" And it's like, "Hey man, you got a pound of heroin in the car, bro. Like I can't, you just doing this because I'm black." No, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, man. I didn't even know who was in the car, right? That's the type of stuff that a lot of people don't get to see, right? And so you're having these conversations, they're tough. Every situation is different, and you break it down as such, and that's how I look at it.
Mr. Perkman.
Oh man, I'm just saying I'm with Sid on the part that that's a tough question to answer. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I never wanted to be a cop. Never thought about being a cop. None of that. I really wanted to be a firefighter, to be honest. But when I became a cop, I looked at it like I'm a kid from Meadows. I'm the kid from over there on 42nd and Sherman Drive. This badge ain't about to make me. I'm putting this badge on because I did this for my community. I did this so that way I'm the inside voice. I can make the change. I know that's like a cliche thing and everything, but the stuff that's going on, there's some stuff that, like you said, man, I'm pissed about it. As a black man, I'm pissed about it. And I'm just like, oh man, here we go again. Are you serious? But then there's other times where the cop side, I'm just like, I don't know how I would have handled that situation because I wasn't there. I don't know what the full story was behind it. I wasn't there. And so therefore,
I can't really judge the incident too much because, like you said, I don't know what happened. I'm here in Indianapolis. I'm here I work in Hallville. And I'm in Hallville working my butt off, coming in day and night. I make sure I make it a point. I go out, I'll pull over, somebody playing basketball. Hey, it's the quickest way to get to knowing people, playing basketball. I'll shoot with them, play basketball with them, do that. So it's kind of tough for me to answer that and say like, oh man, yeah, I would have done this, or oh man, I would have done that. So, like he said, that's a tough one, man. It's a straight up tough one.
Mullins, now as like you around so many black people, you know what I'm saying? Like you know Pops, you done play with us, you know what I'm saying? Like Pops look at you as like nephew. Like you tell me when he be, like, I swear on Sunday, he be like, who y'all got there? We play Mullins in there. He was like, oh nephew still playing? I swear to God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you being around us and being so comfortable around us and us the same, like we look at you as like, that's bro. You know what I'm saying? And as you being around so many African Americans and seeing the junk happening to us, you know what I'm saying? Do that make you feel some type of way? And do it like as an officer as well? Does it make you feel any type of way to where it's like you think any of us will look at you any different? You know what I'm saying?
I thought at first, when this first started happening, that maybe, you know what I mean? Like when I came to the gym, like they're gonna be, because tensions are high, emotions are high, and it's tough. Like, man, shit, you know, I don't look at anybody. Yeah, I know, you know, people just, that's my friend. I don't look at my black friend, my white friend, it's just my friend, you know what I mean? It's my dude. And that's always been me, and it is tough to see when you come in and like, people are upset. And it's like, man, I don't know if it happens to them or not. I don't know if they go out and get pulled over and that happens to them or it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, it sucks because people ask me questions all the time. Like, man, what would you do in this situation? What would you do in this situation? And it's tough to sit back and watch. And it's like, man, because you guys, like I said, you've been my friend since 10 years old, man. Like, I've been playing with these dudes and known these dudes forever. And it's tough. It's tough to watch. And like I said, I told somebody the other day that like racism exists. Yeah, it does. I said because assholes raise assholes that raise assholes, and it's not going away because of that. It's not, and I can't change that. But I can only be me and the people that are around me. I teach, you know, my kids are the same as me. Right. They don't. My boys, they play ball too. Yeah. And they go in, and it's like, yeah, that's my friend. And that's all I can do. I can't take care of something that happens in Florida. In Texas, LA, I can't. All I can be is real with you guys and we cool, and that's all I can do.
Oh geez, what do y'all see like now, mid 2000s, well late 2000s, 2020. In 2020, I'd say. What do y'all see now in 2020 that's any different that y'all saw when y'all was in the 90s? You know what I'm saying?
No, go ahead, man.
I mean, look at y'all.
I mean, as far as, I just feel like the change is being able to express yourself and feel like there's not going to be as much repercussion, because in the 90s, if we just stand with the NBA, we all sports heads, the NBA couldn't do what they're doing now to 2020. They couldn't done that in 1990. They didn't have a strong enough platform. The world wasn't, the evolution of the world and just how everything's evolved. You see Jordan at the peak. He was not political. He was not going to be that person to stand up and for that. You had very small windows or pockets of people standing up and, quite frankly, losing their job and their livelihood because of that.
Cause you see how they did dude that played with Jordan, Hodges,
yeah, gone, and you didn't hear nothing else about it. And now, because of the internet, you know what I mean. Now you can read more and figure it out. Yes, exactly. So from that standpoint, being able to speak up is a lot, I want to say, easier now. Cliche, you know what I mean. It's y'all doing it for the clicks and things of that nature, where it was more real in the 90s. Right. When dude, and for me, cop killed Tim Michael Taylor on 38th and College. But then, so I just think it's easier now to step up and not necessarily less consequences, but not a whole lot. Now we get into the root of the systemic issues, and now we have more Caucasians being advocates for us. Where in the 90s, even though we only had one, we probably could have had 2 or 3, but in the 90s we would have had none. So the fact that 30 years later, we have one that's able to sit at the table, that's comfortable enough to sit at the table, that and that we're comfortable with, to bring to the table. So I just think it's, I just had a conversation, I think it's very small. It's a millimeter step in order to get to an inch when we're looking for a mile.
Ooh, man, this is a great question, man. Before I go any further, I just want to look right in the camera and say, for every officer that wakes up and does it right, we appreciate you all. We appreciate every one of you that get up and do it right. And we don't want to, we're not coming and saying we don't want our law enforcement, because trust me, the movie Purge, we don't want to see nothing like that. So for every officer that get up and do it right, thank you. For every man, every woman that do it right, we're with you, we stand in solidarity. But for those that don't, we want y'all to expose them. The difference to me from the 90s to now is we can go live. We can go live when you mess with us. You know, we can actually catch it. I don't believe it was any officer being concerned about what they do, because we didn't have a live video so we could flip on and be like, man, look at how he treated me, you know. So they was more quick. I know, because as soon as I got here, I ran into an officer. I won't dare call his name, just because I'm from Chicago. He said, I don't like you in my city. Slammed my head on the car. It was in the dead of the summer. It was beaming. My face was burning, and then he pushed my hands down and said, don't move, you know, and I had not did that. I wasn't even in the car. He pulled me over while I was walking, you know. So the difference is that now there's so many social media platforms and people having their devices in their hand where it can be recorded. So I believe this is a platform that we all need to take full advantage of and push it, because these young kids, I want to talk to my son about the same thing he talked to his sons about, the birds and the bees. But I have to teach my son 10 to 2, roll all your windows down. Why? Because my brother's a trooper, and he taught me. He said, roll all 4 windows down. And first thing you do is say, I'm armed. I have a firearm in here. So I've got educated now, but in the 90s, man, I wanted to beat the skin off that officer. But of course, you know, we always knew when the second car come up, we going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You see that second car pull up. We got body cams now that takes we screen for them, but I always tell my youth, the body cams takes the officer discretion away. So we got to understand that when that officer used to say, all right, you driving on spin it, go away. That camera's rolling, he can't do that no more. Got to go and get in the paddy wagon. So it's a catch-22. So it's a lot going on that I educate myself. I do come into the white community. Why do I do it? Because I want to know. I want to know the difference. I met a white guy the other day, he didn't even know the Emmett Till story. He's 38. Because in his family, like you were saying, buttholes to buttholes to buttholes, you know, don't teach it. They hide it. And this man was flabbergasted when I told him about Emmett Till. 38 years old, how didn't you know about what happened to Emmett Till? Because of this table was being shielded from him, because they want to desensitize them, because maybe their father desensitized them, and the cycle continues. That's where the systemic comes from. It continues to go on and on and on. And then you want to know why we're angry and we're upset. It's because you hiding that information to make somebody's heart beat for the black man. And we want that. Because we have, for 400 years, we have been saying, we forgive y'all. We forgive y'all. We forgive you. And we want the same in return, man. So every officer and every first-time responder, man, we're not against you, we're for you, but we want you to uphold that oath 110%.
I think we beat a dead horse by trying to do the same stuff over and over again and expecting it to work out for us. You know what I mean? I'm in the streets, so how I come for the people at the bottom who don't get the opportunity to say what they got to say. And so with that holds a lot of weight. And so also I see, like, you know, you don't hear about the defund the police thing. I think that has to be broken down to what it really is. If it's $280 million allocated to police, why don't you take a little cut of that pie and give it to people? Because y'all get called the issues that aren't police issues. Y'all get called the social work issues. I'm a social worker, especially if I'm in the hood, I'm in the streets, and it's something that I can go ahead in and do. And don't get me wrong, there's that stuff that y'all gotta come in, but I'm talking about the issues because those lights are traumatizing. Those outfits are traumatizing. You can take a situation that really could have just been cool if somebody that they love, that they know, who's in the streets with them, and then you come with the police, that escalates somebody. First thing we think is, I ain't about to die out here. You know what I mean? And I know every situation ain't like that, but like you said, it's put together. You gotta think about what we seeing. We putting all of it together at this point, because if we comply, we get shot. If we move around, we get shot. If we don't do nothing, we get shot. Like it doesn't matter. And you know, me hearing you is like, why don't people just listen? But at the same time, more situations than not, I felt disrespected in that space than I ever have felt respected. Mm-hmm. I've been pulled over a lot, but I hear that authority in your voice. I'm not no little kid. At the end of the day, we both men at the end of the day. So I know I'm good. Yeah, I'm strapped. I'm gonna always be strapped. I reserve that right. But I'm letting you know, and like I've had an officer reach in my door and open my door. So would I have been wrong to treat him like somebody else outside because of that authority? So my thing is, like, we got to figure out a good balance of things, because like this trauma ain't just started for us. This is deep rooted. This is 400 years of systemic oppression and racism. So this anger comes from seeing our uncles, our daddies, our granddaddies, our great granddaddies. And even though we're not in Kenosha and we're not in Florida, that's us. That's how I gotta see it. I can't say, oh, that's just another black man from somewhere else, because I'm a black man from somewhere else. That's my brother. That's my sister. That's my son. You know what I mean? And so we just gotta figure out a way. And like I said, for y'all, you know, we looking at y'all, and that's why the question came up, because we looking at y'all like we black men at the end of the day. The uniform don't cover up their skin. And that's the truth of it. The uniform ain't gonna tell the true story of what we go through, where we came from, why that balance is there, why it's not there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're like, all right, y'all gotta start it off. We gotta trust in y'all first, because y'all look like us. Nothing against you, but they know where we come from. He from the Meadows. My daddy from Hillside. You feel me? That's down the street. My daddy trapped in the Meadows. So you know the mindset over there, and people know you because you little Dustin that don't roll around. You know, we know him. People get excited. I see this on Instagram. It's a police officer in Louisiana, white guy, black neighborhood. When I tell y'all, man, that neighborhood love that man. Like, I'm talking about, he pulling up, and I'm sure y'all do it. But the fact that he shows it makes us. I love him, and I don't even know him. I'm like, damn, I wish he was here. I'm talking about this kid's running up. He giving out pie, and I'm sure y'all do it, but that's the type of stuff we need to see, because if the media is playing us to not like y'all got to play the media back to make us trust y'all.
Because we don't have the
But it
power
gotta
to
be
get the
authentic
media to
though.
show you.
Absolutely, it gotta be right.
It can't be just we just doing it just to go out that we something bad. We gotta do something good.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like you said, like we talk, we do so much that you feel like you don't, like you ain't got to, because because it's authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it's nothing wrong with someone that's saying authentic, organic, you know what I'm saying, side from time to time. Not saying you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying you, but just like as much negative stuff as we see, we got to see some positive.
And that could be from the department when we ask, what can y'all do? If it's not going to be the individual, then advocate for the department to do.
Right.
So then the community can see the department, and not the commercial stuff. Right. Not the we all
real.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Not the one that's promoted. We going out to this school and kumbaya. No, we want to see the authentic ones that you know what I mean.
That's gonna talk to
that's
us
gonna resonate
and relate to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But or y'all have your own. We have our own media. Y'all can do it at your own. You can do it through the PD, and that's the advocation that we need. Here, this is the step. Let's start promoting ourselves. Let's start promoting this precinct right here out of 46218, and let's show this zip code that we are representing. this community. And then watch how it spreads to 46205, 46218, 14, and so much, and then it just becomes a domino effect. If y'all have not, and maybe it starts with the individual first, then maybe the department or whatever, and that's what I was asking. What does that look like within y'all? How can y'all make that happen for yourself, for the community, for the department, and then it's gonna grow to the city?
Hey, it's kind of like last year, Tone, when we was at the Hill.
Yep.
And them police officers rolled back past 5 times.
Yep.
And that was the day, it was probably like 500 people out there.
Yep.
5 times, and then they finally stopped. One got out the car. And it was right there. This is when I had the child. Stopped, went by the car and was like, whose car is this? Like, bro, it's 10 other cars right there. It's 10 other cars right there. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes to say, like, we had a neighbor, we had a resident say that it was a noise complaint, a loud music. I told him, I was like, bro, you go to the top of that hill, you can't even hear the speakers from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's up? You trying to see what this is over here? Or why don't you come and see? You know what I'm saying? Well, come and see.
But yeah, that's his makeup, man.
We want you to come over here.
Right. Come
over
run
here,
with
bro,
us.
and talk to a couple of these kids. You know what I'm
But
saying?
they ain't in his DNA.
But they got did they not?
Yeah.
To be on some tough shit.
They got that. No. They ain't get out the car to be on no tough stuff because they synced it in my eyes, bro. Like, bro, nah. I'm like, well, what are y'all going? Come over here and see, bro. Come over here and see. His partner pulled up. He got out the car too, bro. Come and talk to a couple of these kids. Break that stigma, bro. That they ain't gotta be scared of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because these little kids, bro, ain't no way that little Brandon should be like when he see a police officer. Come on, bro. I'm 8.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school, police was coming into the classrooms. You remember these conversations? Hey, what you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a policeman. I want to be a firefighter.
That was it.
You don't hear that no more, bro.
That was it.
You don't hear that no more? Why? That shit's a problem.
I think to go back to what he was saying though, like as far as, and like you were saying too, now in this day and age, social media runs everything. Right. You're right. So like, I'll give you a prime example with me, and you can test I just posted. I'm in Hallville. I work in Hallville. I literally just arrested this man's brother. Cracking jokes, we playing around, joking around. This dude is in handcuffs, but we joking around. His brother looks like Rufus from 5 Heartbeats.
Yeah.
We cracking jokes. I'm videotaping. I said, man, hit a high note for me. Cracking jokes with him. That interaction right there, I go down Sheffield. You know about Hallville, between 10th and 14th Street, ain't no plaything. Dude, I don't get disrespected. I get out, I talk to him. Oh yeah, that's cuz, he good. That same dude that I had that interaction with, come up to me, shake up with me. Man, you need anything, man? If anybody, you got a problem with anybody, you let me know. That same dude helped me out with an arrest. Not saying he snitched on nobody, not saying none of that. He helped me de-escalate that.
Right.
That situation,
Right.
because of our previous interaction.
That's
so
what he said.
So I
That's
agree,
real.
I agree with what you're saying when
Yeah.
you say stuff like that. I don't necessarily have to sit here and, oh yeah, hey, this is my boy Sid, you know, this is my boy. That's commercial.
Right, for sure.
Versus authentic is, yeah, man, this is my dude. Look, I had to arrest him for this.
Right.
But we making a bet.
But it does happen.
But that goes
what-
to say that goes back to the thing
Yeah.
of
And then you encouraging
you from where you are.
Yeah.
You can relate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he said, they're putting people in these neighborhoods that don't know how to relate to us, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be put in them neighborhoods, you need to go in them neighborhoods and learn the people first, bro.
And with all
You know what I'm
honesty,
saying?
it's not to cut you off. Y'all don't have to record yourself. When them officers came in my community and played ball, I turned my camera
Oh,
on.
that happens a lot.
That's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all don't
that's
have to
a lot.
do nothing.
Yeah. Just like-
somebody
like-
to see real authentic.
What's the rec center?
stuff.
What's the
We
rec
gonna-
center that's in the valley? I forgot what it is.
Oh, I know.
I'm in there playing basketball. Me and my
For
people
sure.
partners.
Yeah.
But see,
They videotaping us.
And those are the videos that make us smile like that's hard.
It's-
You know, every time I see it on film, I'm like, hell yeah, they out there playing basketball with the kids. That's what we need to see. But
that's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. That's
right,
cool.
for sure.
But in all honesty, is that really what we need?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just need shit to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta hoop with him. You ain't gotta hoop with the kids and stuff like that. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you can't
but as
hoop,
long
then
as you, like,
Make it look, hey,
you know what I'm saying?
do what you gotta do.
That-
To
that's
me,
the part, that's the
this
part.
is me. This is
Hey,
me.
did you
I'll say it
speak
like
for
this.
yourself, though? I love
To me personally, I'm just gonna say it like this. I mean, I don't mean to offend if y'all take it that way, but to me, basketball is any sport really. Sport is where you It's that niche for
Bait,
getting into
boy.
that black community.
It is.
If you're a white boy that can't hoop, who cares? Get crossed over.
Oh, yeah.
Get crossed over. Cool. You fall. Cool. But my thing is, for me, and Hick can contest because I talk to them a lot about it. When I go in the communities, man, I don't do it just for shits and giggles. I don't do it just I'm on the TV playing. No, I do it because after I get done, you might beat me, I might beat you, but I'm gonna have an interaction with you. You just had a positive interaction with a police officer versus having a negative. Even when I'm gonna go back to this, if I pull you over, I do traffic a lot. And to be honest, let's be real, 80% of the time when I'm pulling over, African American males. Now I will come up, I'm gonna give you your tickets, I'm gonna tell you what you got, I'm also help you on how to get out of it. I'll come up to you, I'll talk to you like this, man, bro, you want to down, man, we not all bad cops, man, I'll talk to you like a human being.
Yeah.
And at the end of the
That's
day,
key.
like that's why I say sports to me, that's a good interaction for me to meeting and greeting and talking to people. Me talking to you on a traffic stop, that's good corporate. I'm there, I'm good. So yes, I agree. Social media as an officer is tough for us because we got to watch some of the stuff we put on there. Absolutely. Because we get in trouble too. But I agree. Like getting out, getting in the community, but at the same time as us as officers, we do, like say we get those new rookies that are from, let's just say Martinsville or something. A cop that's from Martinsville. They come up here to Indianapolis and they become a cop. Us as black officers or white officers that have been in the community a long time, we need to teach them and go around with them like, oh, look, these are the guys you need to know. You need to get out sometimes, interact with people. Because some people don't know. Some white officers and black officers are just scared. Let's just be real, they scared.
Well,
And you can't protect us if you're scared of us.
Right.
You can't.
No, I'm not saying they're scared of you. I'm scared. They're scared of like Hallville.
Right, that's us though.
But they don't know because they've never been there. They've
Right,
never
they
been
can't.
there.
That's why
not.
because you can't. Because this is what you can't do. He from Martinsville. There's no way you're gonna be able to train him to know how to operate around Hallville in a month or two. Not even a year. Not even a year. That's Hallville. Oh, first thing people from Martinsville gonna see is, man, we done heard about Hallville. That was #1 on the murder list 20 years ago. Not realizing Hallville, people love each other. They stepping for each other. That's family. Regardless of what you poverty or whatever, Hallville love each other. That's a hood. That's a real hood. They operate as a hood. You know what I mean? Right. And so bringing somebody from there and placing them in there to make them think they're gonna operate and do that's unrealistic, and it ain't fair to the cop. It ain't fair to him because his comfort. You gotta be comfortable in a sense when you riding around. You riding around, you comfortable, but you aware. You feel what I'm saying? It gotta be a comfort level too. Because what kind of job is it if you scared? You know what I mean? Or if you uncomfortable to where you flinching and we watch them videos, and I get we go back to the videos, but we watching scary ass cops interact with black men in areas they shouldn't even be in the first place.
And you hit it on the head though when you said that we need as much as possible, and I know it can't be 100%, but as many people that know our community, that's who we need to police our community. We don't need somebody from Zionsville that know everybody in Zionsville. We need somebody that knows that area, that community. And I'm not saying they got to be from there, but they got to know.
But that goes
area.
back to what I said too, Tom. Like these kids not even wanting to be officers and stuff no more. You know what I'm saying? Kids in IPS schools ain't want to be officers to be in them communities.
So that's part of the problem that we are trying, as police departments and administrations trying to fix, right? Like, I mean, you have a certain amount of people that apply for the police department, and you're not always going to get people from. That's just the nature of the beast, man.
Right.
Like, there's not. Do we have? Do our numbers always reflect the demographic of the people that we police? No, right? And so that's just something that just needs to continuously. We just need to work on, man. You know what I mean? So.
I agree, man. I think, but this, like I said, this is what's needed. Because you got people coming. He from the Far East Side, and I've heard a lot about you. You know what I mean? So that's what you need. And like I said, I come from those who, and that's why I got into social work, because I witnessed a system not treating people a certain way, just like a lot of systems. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's like I got to be the change. So that's why I said, like, even if I can intervene in any way where y'all dealing with youth, they know me. You know what I mean? They know how I'm rocking. So if I say, hey, you got to be cool, they gonna be cool because of their respect level. And I think that would help even y'all. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, if I could de-escalate for you, because it's reactionary. People calling the police after some shit happened. If we already in the neighborhoods and these people are already there, where they can be like, hey, go down there real quick. Somebody is going to come, but I'm here first. I feel like most of these situations will be better, you know what I mean? Because they not seeing the lights first. They not seeing the uniform first. They not seeing the guy pull up with his hand on his hip. Because, you know what I mean? That's all traumatizing, and it ain't on y'all to try to fix that trauma. That trauma is deep rooted. Y'all ain't gonna never be able to fix that, but we can get better at these interactions, and that's how we gotta try. You know, that's all we can do is try. You know what I mean? It's deep rooted. We trying to reverse something that's 400 years deep. You know what I mean? And it feel like now, it's right now how the media is playing it, feel like we just got here again. And it's like we hate all y'all. So that's why we got to get in these spaces and hurry up and talk and hurry up and get stuff in action.
That's real.
Because we got to hurry up and try to reverse something before it gets to a point where it is something like a civil war. Because you got a president who's putting it out there like, hey, it is what it is. So I think this is important, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all slide. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
I reached out to y'all for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I know what you do. I know it's authentic tone. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all out there. That's why I say like y'all too. Y'all are out there. You know what I'm saying? So I know that y'all see it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? And y'all doing everything that y'all can for us. You know what I'm saying? Key, I know what you done did. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't even realize how much of these young black men that he done lives that he done saved when they ain't have no chance in hell hooping no more, when he done got them basketball scholarships, you know what I'm saying, when he didn't have to, you know what I'm saying, and done did it all under the radar, you know what I'm saying. So that's my dog. So I was 11 years old, man. You know what I'm saying. Sid, Dustin, Josh, been knowing y'all for the longest, man, and I pay attention to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all good people, man, at the end of the day. And I think that's most important before you are looked at as an officer. What type of person are you? You know what I'm saying? Like Josh, same thing, man. Just said Pops embrace you as, you know what I'm saying, family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's big, bro. Pops don't like nobody. You know what I'm saying? He embrace you as a nephew, you know what I'm saying? And like we've been rocking since forever, you know what I'm saying? See it, like bro, like we had a conversation that you do so much, man. I love that, you know what I'm saying? We went at it on court and everything. It's just dope, man. So I appreciate all of y'all to the fullest, man. And
appreciate the invite,
Thank
man.
you. Thank y'all too, man. Thank y'all for pulling up.
Definitely. So hopefully we got, you know what I'm saying, some, I know we ain't covered nowhere near as much of everything needs to be covered, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, you know what I'm saying, we got some things out there that people have been wondering, and from y'all aspect, you know what I'm saying? So like they can actually hear a genuine officer speak on some of this uncomfortable shit. You know what I'm saying? like I definitely was gonna ask questions that was uncomfortable that need to be asked. You know what I'm saying? And just so y'all can hear us, our sides, in a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right. And that's why I didn't want to do it. It's like, okay, what are you? You know what I'm saying? Like list of questions and stuff like that. Like shit, just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And we go from there and everything. So. Man, my dogs, Couch Talk, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all as usual. You know what I'm saying? We come through to broadcast this to everybody that's watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I hope everybody come back and we do it again. You know what I'm saying? Necessary, you know. So, yeah, appreciate Simone coming through, taking some pictures and everything like that. We out. Good.
Appreciate everybody though.